In the charming town of West Liberty, where the streets were lined with colourful houses and the air was filled with the sweet scent of freshly baked pies, there lived a mischievous duo named RJ and Izzy. RJ was known for his insatiable appetite, and Izzy for her quick wit and adventurous spirit. Together, they were always up for a new escapade. One sunny afternoon, as RJ and Izzy strolled through the town square, their noses led them to the doorstep of Mrs. Appleby's bakery, where the most mouth-watering pies in all of West Liberty were on display. Unable to resist the temptation, RJ and Izzy devised a plan to snag a pie without getting caught. With Izzy keeping watch, RJ tiptoed up to the window, his eyes fixed on the prized cherry pie sitting tantalizingly close. With a swift grab, he snatched the pie and made a dash for it, but his getaway was foiled by a stray cat crossing his path. Tripping over the feline, RJ stumbled and landed face first in the pie, covering himself in sticky red filling. As the commotion drew the attention of the townsfolk, RJ sheepishly returned the pie to Mrs. Appleby, apologizing profusely for his attempted heist. Mrs. Appleby, though initially upset, couldn't help but chuckle at RJ's antics. She forgave him with a smile, but not before giving him a stern lecture about the importance of honesty and respecting others' property. Embarrassed but wiser for the experience, RJ and Izzy slunk away from the bakery, their bellies grumbling with hunger and their cheeks flushed with embarrassment. Determined to make amends, they decided to put their misadventure behind them and find a way to make things right. Inspired by Mrs. Appleby's forgiveness, RJ and Izzy hatched a plan to bake a batch of their own pies to share with the townsfolk as a gesture of goodwill. With Izzy's culinary skills and RJ's enthusiasm, and a few mishaps along the way, including flour fights and dough mishaps, they whipped up a delicious assortment of pies, from apple to peach to blueberry. The next day, RJ and Izzy set up a makeshift pie stand in the town square, offering their homemade treats to anyone who passed by. Word quickly spread, and soon a crowd had gathered, eager to sample the duo's creations. As the pies disappeared one by one, RJ and Izzy beamed with pride, knowing that their efforts had brought joy to their neighbours. But just as they were about to pack up for the day, a familiar face appeared in the crowd, Mrs. Appleby. With a twinkle in her eye and a smile on her lips, she commended RJ and Izzy for their generosity and their newfound sense of responsibility. As the sun began to set on West Liberty, RJ and Izzy realised that sometimes the sweetest rewards come from owning up to your mistakes and making amends. And as they savoured the last crumbs of their homemade pies, they knew that their friendship and their lessons learned would last a lifetime. And so, with full bellies and hearts light, RJ and Izzy bid farewell to the town square, already dreaming up their next adventure.